Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and we're here on the beachfront. We've got some rain down south, so the tide's coming up. I'm here with Dan Priest, and once again, it's Insurance Talk with Priest Insurance. And we were talking about, and couldn't have picked a better day, start talking about hurricane insurance.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as hurricane insurance.
Okay.
Start with that.
Storm, what's the right name for it?
There's windstorm insurance, and there's flood insurance, and there's fire insurance, and they work together to protect you.
Okay. We go through this every year, and we always say it's not a matter if you're going to use it, it's when you're going to use it. What should people be doing now? We're in an El Nino year, so they're saying we're going to have a lighter season, but here we are. The beach is like quicksand right now because we haven't had rain, but all it takes is one storm. What should people be doing now, getting ready?
Well, that's an interesting thing you talk about. You know, we're down here a lot, and oftentimes it is just a gorgeous day down here, and the surf is flat. And here we have a little bitty rainstorm down a little bit south, and we're seeing elevated tides. And it's just kind of a reminder of what can happen when you have a storm come in, and that this is just the beginning of what it is. So now is a good time to start preparing, making sure that you have copies of your insurance policies, making sure that you've talked to your agent and have the coverages that you need, meaning windstorm for the wind part of a hurricane, flood for the flood part of a hurricane.
And flood is rising water, right?
An easy kind of a thing to remember with that is anything that comes up, water that's coming up, is going to be flood insurance. Anything that is coming down is not going to be flood insurance.
Say the wind's bad and it rips off some shingles.
Yep.
And it's raining, and so water's coming down. That's windstorm.
Yes.
Okay. But flood comes up and it knocks a boat through the bottom of your house.
Yeah, that can happen.
And water comes up into your house. That's flood.
That's correct. So, you know, we talk about it, all our houses are now elevated a lot, right? But things still happen in storms in the past that we've talked about before. Sometimes a structure can be pushed off of its pilings, like maybe a beachfront home gets taken out with a wave, and then that house actually is pushed back into another house by the water. And it knocks that other house off, knocks the piling loose. Or we have a lot of structures that are on the ground now that can move into your house. You don't necessarily have to have a storm that the wave is crashing into.
So my house gets knocked down and it floats into another house.
Yeah.
And we saw that during Ike because the pilings then were a lot older. Am I liable for that house?
No, you're not liable. And you know how that's going to play out in the claim situation is it might be a little bit tricky, but that would be a subsequent cause of loss. That collision occurred from the floodwaters that came up into that house.
If you had, we still have a few houses down here on telephone poles.
We do.
And those we all know rot from the inside out. Could that be, and this is a far-fetched question, those pilings break because, you know where I'm going with this. The pilings break because of the storm surge and the waves hitting against it or the water, and it floats into another house. Could that be, could the homeowner go after the other homeowner because it's neglect?
Oh, that's really a far-fetched question.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a hard thing to prove.
We saw a lot of houses down here during Ike. One house floated into another, and there were actually some houses that broke that were sitting in the middle of the highway or a field that were fully intact.
Yeah.
It was just the pilings came loose.
You know, you said something kind of interesting earlier, and there are so many ways that can be impacted. A boat coming off and getting pushed up underneath into your house.
Right.
That can happen.
And that did happen during Ike.
Yeah, it happened. You can have a boat come in from offshore, some offshore structure come in to the shore. That can happen.
Right.
A building, another building hits you. There are so many unforeseen circumstances that can occur. That's why it's so important to have all of these policies to work together to protect you as best we can.
And remember, if you went in this year and maybe did an upgrade over the in the spring before rental time or over the winter, did an upgrade on your home, they need to let their insurance company know anything they did, whether it's painting the inside and out, putting new crown molding up, maybe changing out the deck. They need to let their insurance people know now.
Yeah, because when it's time for a claim, the amount of insurance you have relative to the actual replacement cost of the structure you have is very important for how you get paid. And I can't stress that enough. And some policies have an automatic building increase to help keep up with inflation, rising cost of materials, rising cost of labor, but not all policies do.
Okay.
So it's really important to go through your policies, to look at them, especially over these past couple of years with the way we've seen building costs go up. And I know that it's tough for many people for the way that taxes have gone up for your property taxes, and the same pressure that's coming with insurance costs. But please don't play a game with cutting on your insurance costs by not insuring your house properly, because that's just a huge heartbreak ready to happen.
Right. Well, if people want to get hold of you, maybe they want you to look at their insurance policy and go over it and maybe give them some pointers or some things that you could help them on. How can they get hold of you?
Yeah, just give us a call, 409-755-7600 or priestinsuranceagency.com. Ask for myself or Jamie, who does a lot of work down here.
Smiley.
And we'd love to chat with you and talk with you and about bringing all those things together to help reduce some costs. We had a person the other day that had some property down here and looking to insure it. And you can increase that by simply using an additional premises liability endorsement from your primary home.
Yeah. Great. Well, we're going to head on out. Remember, we have these shows every Monday at 3:30, talking insurance here on the coast, whether it's Bolivar, Beaumont, inland a little bit. Priest Insurance covers it all. We're going to head on out before this rising water tide gets us and floods us out. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live with Dan Priest. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. Priest Insurance Agency has been located in the heart of Lumberton, Texas since 2001, providing a consultative approach and educating customers on how their insurance works for them throughout the coastal region of Texas. Priest Insurance specializes in the coastal region of Texas, covering home, auto, business, and recreational insurance. With ties to the coastal communities, Dan Priest has had the sand between his toes since 1972, with a home on Bolivar Peninsula in Galveston County. He survived a storm named Ike, but lost his home. With insurance coverage, his family was able to rebuild following the 2008 storm and continues to make memories beachfront. Priest Insurance specializes in the coastal communities, family dwellings, investment property, and business insurance. They've been there. Whether you're looking for or have a family retreat along the Texas coast, investment property, or a business, Priest Insurance would be honored to work with you and your family to make sure you're covered anytime trouble arises. For more information on Priest Insurance and their contact information, please visit their website at www.priestinsuranceagency.com, or their office is open for phone calls with questions and consultation Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. by calling 409-755-7600. Priest Insurance Agency, working and educating customers, making sure they understand and have the coverage they deserve.